Hello everyone, my name is Deckerlink, the trained unprofessional, and welcome back to Tennis Ace. On the last episode, we met this savant of pianos, dude playing masterfully on the piano, naturally, seems to be getting him through life a little bit, but seems to be a jumpy, kind of dim-witted fellow outside of it. Or at least, not dim-witted, shouldn't say that, bad test taker. There is a difference. There's a huge oh, Tennis Ace updated a few hours ago? Shit, I didn't download that update. Well, we're gonna play this one. I think that's more to do with you being out of shape and less to do with the school says. Oh, this person trying to throw some shade at the people. No, I should probably hold off on saying something that tactless. Hey, son. What about the other side of the locker room? The other side? Oh, he's looking at the door to the volleyball courts. Wait, should I even let him go there in the first place? When I took him to the tennis court, he kept just walking around like a kid in an amusement park, shouting things like, "So this is what a tennis court looks like, and it's so amazing!" He even took a few pictures. God knows what those are about. That's for the volleyball courts. I don't think I'm allowed to take you there, though. I'm not a member of that club. What about the tennis courts? Did you have permission to take me there? I think about the big tennis bag I'm carrying with me, which should have been enough to tell him I'm a member, but this guy's apparently very dense. Huh? Well, I'm a member. Shouldn't the clothes and the big tennis bag I carry around have tipped you off to that? I think that's kind of what we just said, but oh well. Wow, really? I've never really watched a match live, but it totally looked like an awesome sport. I don't know any rules, though. Please do not go into a fucking explanation of the rules of tennis. I've heard plenty of explanations lately, all of which have been very helpful, but as soon as you admit you don't know something, everyone and their mama's coming out of the woodwork trying to tell you how things are running. Oh, man. God, too much. This guy is too much. He has way too much gas in his tank. I don't know how to deal with people like that. Rutherford? Oh, damn! What is he still doing here? Just as I hear a voice calling out to me, Shoichi's head peeks out from behind a couple of lockers. He doesn't have a black eye. I think that's just part of his fur. As soon as he notices me, he smiles and walks up to us. Hi, base night. He's completely covered in sweat. Ew. His clothes look like they've been submerged in water. That's disgusting. What are you doing here? I thought you had already left already. Already. He finally notices Kobayashi, who seems to have tried to hide behind me. Who's this, a new club member? Kobayashi's entire body goes stiff as he steps out from behind me. Why does he look mad? All of his motions have been suddenly turned mechanic. I'm Jun Kobayashi. It's a pleasure to meet you. For some reason, he seems more nervous around Shoichi than he was with me. Shoichi studies him for a few seconds, looking incredibly interested in him. Oh boy. Kobayashi, huh? If I'm not mistaken, you're the student I was asked to accompany today. Me? Kobayashi looks to be in shock, taking a step back and nearly choking on his own words. To be honest, even I'm a little bit surprised. Shoichi was asked to meet a new student? What for? You know about me? Yeah. One of the teachers was supposed to show you around school today, but she called in sick. Since I'm the student council president, I was asked to do it in her stead, but you never did show up. Oh, buddy. Almost as if he was stabbed by an invisible arrow, Kobayashi's entire body shivers at Shoichi's merciless words. And here I waited for almost an hour, losing my first class of the day because you didn't show up. Gah. Another invisible arrow. You know, I really wish people would call beforehand if they happen to be late for something. It's not like everyone has infinite free time like some people, right? Gah. Kobayashi slumps his shoulder in defeat, mumbling a few incoherent apologies. The fact that Shoichi could say all of that with a smile on his face, though. Scary, Shoichi, you're scary. Well, he says he got here a bit late and the gates were already closed. So it's not entirely his fault, right, Kobayashi-kun? Kobayashi-kun? Kobayashi nods. Jesus, his fucking face right now. Yes, I'm sorry I was so late. I had been living in a different town until recently and ended up getting lost. I was so sorry to have inconvenienced you. And what is certainly an uncharacteristic motion for him, Shoichi examines his Kobayashi as if he didn't know what to make of the situation. I guess I'm not the only one who gets thrown off by the pace of this guy. Well, it's alright, I suppose. I was mostly joking anyway. It didn't look like you were! I've already been informed of your circumstances. If you want, I can give you a quick tour. Oh no, it's alright. Hey-san already did. Shoichi looks at me, dumbstruck. Wait, Heisuke helped a stranger of his own free will? Seriously? Don't look so surprised about it! Yeah, I did. Got a problem with that? But no, not at all. It was just really unexpected. Have you already taken him to the staff room? The staff room? Why would I take him there? Shoichi stares at me in surprise. New students have to be assigned a teacher as their counselor when they join. You should know this. We did it 2 years ago. Now that he mentioned it, I do remember something like that. Wait, is this why I'm always having to deal with Kataragi-sensei? I honestly didn't remember. Oh, I completely forgot. You don't have to look at me with such disappointed eyes. It's not my fault, you know. You can't expect me to remember that. It was a whole 2 years ago. It's no problem. I mean, even if we don't get to finish everything today, he still helped a lot. Judging from Shoichi's expression, I guess even he must be having serious problems coming up with things to say in this situation. He does tend to take his responsibilities quite seriously, so he's probably trying to figure out how much he can still do before school closes. Well, I guess it should be fine. I'll explain to the teacher in charge of admissions that you couldn't show up today. I'm sure he'll understand. Though, there's not much we can do since all the teachers have already gone home, so just hang tight until tomorrow, okay? Actually, Kobayashi-san, would you mind if I borrowed Heisuke? I need him to help me with something. Oh, it's fine. I was looking forward to seeing the volleyball courts. It's fine if you want to. I can take you to the courts. I was going to ask Hayes. Shoichi stumbles on his speech when he says my name. For some reason, he tends to treat everyone very formally when around other students, even his own friends. Sup, Seahooks? Still, it sounds pretty weird to hear my last name come out of his mouth. I'm sure it must be even weirder for him to say it. Sorry, I'm not used to calling him by his last name. If it bothers you so much, why are you doing it? Shoichi starts rubbing the back of his neck. You're supposed to use polite speech when you're first introduced to someone, after all. Stop being so stuck up and call me by my name. You're trying too much to sound like an adult. It's creepy and annoying. Kobayashi starts laughing. Shoichi glares at me. I'm sorry. It's okay. It takes a minute to steady his breathing before he tries to resume talking. If you feel uncomfortable calling him that, then you don't need to force yourself just because I'm around. Actually, I really hate polite speech. If you prefer, you can just call me June. I know I'd like it better if you did. Shoichi ponders it for a second before nodding. Alright, in that case, you can just call me Shoichi. Jun-kun bows excitedly. This time he doesn't look like a clockwork piece. Well, since that's out of the way, you can look at the volleyball courts all you want. I'm the only one around right now. I was actually hoping to get Rutherford to help me with my training. Shoichi looks at me expectantly. I think of backing out, but when I turn around, I see Jun-kun beaming at me with excitement. Alright, fine. But let's not take too long, okay? I was intending to go home soon. Yeah, no problem. Jun-kun starts strolling around, pointing and gasping at everything in sight. Even the ball cart. Who gets excited over a ball cart? My god. Shoichi makes his way to the setter position. I see a pretty big pool of sweat beneath his feet. That is disgusting. How long has he been practicing? Okay, Rutherford, get into position and throw me the ball. This is a drill I've already done a ton of times. Since Shoichi makes me help him with his practice constantly, I've learned quite a lot about volleyball. Also, I seem to be pretty decent at it. Well, I tend to be pretty decent at most things anyway. I throw the ball right over Shuichi's head. When it's a little above the net, he jumps, tossing the ball into the air. I start running as soon as he jumps. I make sure of the ball's position and I jump towards it. I aim my spike just over the line. The ball hits the floor with a resounding wham right on top of the line. Nice spike.
Whoa!
A deafening voice assaults my ears.
How can you jump so high? And the sound of the ball made when it hit your hands was so loud. Doesn't it hurt your hand hurt after hitting it like that? And how'd you aim it so close to the line? And
no. How about we call a timeout for a bit? After one spike, Jesus. Even Shoichi is taken aback by a sudden outburst of excitement. I've only met him today and I'm already having a hard time dealing with it. And he studies in the same class as me. This is a pretty simple thing if you train your legs. Rutherford might not have to jump strong legs from playing tennis. As for if it hurts his hand, I guess you could say it stings for a bit, but I'm not sure if I can call it painful. Aiming is just a matter of practicing a lot too. And now, mind if we continue?
please do.
Shoichi hands me another ball. I can feel Kobayashi's eyes around me right now. He really is watching intently. I toss the ball to Shoichi again, and we repeat the drill. It goes over his head, and right when it's at the top of the net, he jumps and tosses the ball whilst in midair. Shoichi's tosses are incredibly accurate and easy to spike. He's the sort of setter that prioritizes easy-to-spike tosses. As such, he's very well liked by his team. He's already considered the best setter in our prefecture, maybe even in the whole country. That would be hard to tell for sure. Despite how good he is, the rest of his team is only average, so they've only managed to qualify for the national tournament once. He'd be really mad at me if I said that out loud, though. We keep doing this drill for a while. Every now and then, Jun stops us to ask questions. At first, he was only asking us about the things about volleyball, but...
So how long have you guys known each other?
He started getting way too personal. I just like the music in this game, man. This and Regal Tales have, like, amazing soundtracks. It's fucking weird, man. It's not weird. It's awesome. Shoichi doesn't seem fazed by it in the slightest. Well, it probably doesn't take too long for a guy as sociable as Shoichi to adapt to this sort of thing. In fact, he's in a really good mood, constantly smiling and going with whatever Jun asks. Let me see. I guess it's been about 12 years, right, Rutherford? I guess it would be something like that, yeah.
Wow, that's a long time to get to know each other.
We've met during our sports club's training camp. It turned out that we both went to the same club, but never met since we played different sports. If we hadn't shared a seat in the bus back then. It looked like he was reminiscing. Come to think of it, I hadn't really paid much attention to how long we've known each other for. When I think about it, I barely do anything without Shoichi these days. When I think of it, it's almost like having a younger brother. Oh! Oh! I see what you mean, but why am I the younger brother? I'm older than you. You get to be the older brother when you learn to take care of yourself without inconveniencing other people. Gah!
It must be nice being so close with someone. I don't have any friends, not since I last switched schools anyway.
Shoichi smiles. Just the atmosphere around him is already helping keep the shy and jumpy new guy in a better mood. He's just so good with people that others can't help but relax around him. You worry too much. If you want, you can just hang out with us. You're in the same class as Rutherford anyway, right?
Of course. Thank you very much.
And just like that, it seems we've adopted a stray cat. We spend almost an hour helping Shoichi practice. Look at these two. They're so happy. Ah, they're happy. But what about me? Hey, Rutherford, would you mind waiting around for me? I'll just towel myself off and get changed. Sure.
Well, I guess I'll be going now. It is pretty late. Rutherford-san, Shoichi-san, thank you for the help.
And he gone. Junkun bows and takes his leave. Shuichi, you're so easy to read. You're obviously annoyed that he added the san, aren't you? I did tell him to drop the honorifics, didn't I? You were acting very formal around him. Poor guy's probably confused. Well, I guess that's true. He's a pretty interesting boy, though. Yeah, tell me about it. A bit too hyper for me. Really? I find it endearing. I sit down on one of the benches and wait until Shuichi is done getting dressed. Is day one finally gonna end? Finally? It got so late while we were goofing around that it's already gotten dark. By the way, Shuichi, how did you get to stay so late in the courts? I noticed that no one comes around to close it. I got the keys from my coach. I thought they didn't allow students to stay at school after class. Of course they do. All you have to do is ask nicely and sign a term of responsibility. Sorry, I'm not cut out for that sort of thing. What, not cut out for being a normal person? Anyway, did you have fun on your first day? Meh, it's the same as every year, really. Well, I thought you'd be a little more excited after practice. You had a great practice match today, and you didn't even care about it. I wouldn't say that I didn't care, it's just, I don't even know, it didn't give me that usual thrill. Shuichi cuts in front of me, forcing me to stop. When I start asking what he's doing, he flicks me in the forehead. You've been like that for the past 3 years already. It needs to stop. It's not healthy. I rubbed the spot. He flicked me. Damn, that stung. Been like what? I don't even know what you're talking about. How dense can you be? It's obvious for me, since I've been watching you play since we were kids. You have something on your mind, don't you? What is it? I don't know. If there's anything going on with me, it's certainly not intentional. You think I like making almost no progress in practice? So you've noticed your slow development. Of course I noticed! How dumb would I have to be in order to not to? It's so frustrating. I see players that were clearly weaker than me 2 or 3 years ago suddenly beat me with ease. And that, of course, only makes me even more anxious. Shuichi scratches his head in confusion. I guess I know what you mean. Tennis is a pretty lonely sport. You've only got yourself to rely on. That's why I like volleyball. Your teammates are always there to cover for you and help you along if you're having any difficulty. The way I see it, I could be playing my best and clearly be the best player and yet still lose because my team dragged me down. So what's been happening to you? I'm sorry I didn't catch that. What'd you say? Oh shit. His expression, our expression, this is just expression gold right here. I love it. Nothing. Walk along in silence for a few minutes. I'm usually pretty bad with words. At times like this, I usually rely on Shuichi to keep the conversation going. If he goes quiet too... Sorry. Huh? What for? I know you're uncomfortable talking about this. I shouldn't have said anything. It's fine. To be honest, Katsuragi-sensei was also saying the same thing. She says I've stopped trying to excel. She's not entirely wrong, either. I'll admit, I used to try a lot harder before, both in tennis and in school. I guess I just lost my drive. He lost his mojo. We've got to get his mojo back. Yeah, baby, yeah! Wow, you shouldn't worry about it so much. Even if you're like this now, you're aware of your faults and are working to change. Always the optimist, huh? I try. Shuichi wraps his arms over my neck and pulls me closer, petting my head. I let him have his fun for a while. I guess I'm in a good mood. He does take the concept of skinship a little too far sometimes, though. Skinship. Before I notice it, we're almost at my house. Damn, it was so pleasant that I completely zoned out. You can let go of me now. Oh, feeling self-conscious? No, I just think I've already let you have enough fun. We're even now. I think you were having way more fun than I was. I don't even know what you're talking about. Sure thing. He pulls away from me. By the way, I know I sound like a broken record, but this is our last year of high school. It'd be a shame if we spent it freaking out about the future. Let's just take things one step at a time, okay? Sure, and I guess I should consult with a few coaches about a new training program. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. A change of routine might actually help you with that psychological block of yours. Why don't you ask one of your sponsors to get you a personal coach? Nah, I don't want them to think they've got too much power over me. They've already sent you equipment and helped pay for your travel expenses. It's pretty safe to say they've got a lot of power over you and they know it. Shut up. Well, not that it matters anyway. I'm sure there are lots of professional coaches in Japan that would like to work with you. Plus, almost all players in the country would jump at the opportunity of practicing with you. Well, now that he mentioned it, I'm pretty sure I heard something about an exchange program. Oh, that's right. Actually, I kind of just remembered there are a few tennis clubs out of our prefecture holding an exchange program. The minimum requirement is being ranked 12 or higher in the Kanto Junior ranking. Does that mean Tanabe would be participating too? Takagi Tanabe is the current #1 player in the U18 circuit. I've known him since I first played against him on the U13 Kanto tournament. We've already faced each other over 20 times and I've never beaten him, not even once. I think so. His club is the one organizing it all. That's great then. Why don't you go? What's your ranking in Kanto right now? 3? 4? 2. And I don't know if I should. I mean, I definitely get a good amount of practice, but I'm afraid I might psych myself out if I meet him there. You're refusing the opportunity of practicing against the best player in the country. You? This is more serious than I thought. Your heart's turned to glass. Shut up. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of it or anything. Honestly, I might actually be scared. I have avoided playing Keisuke all this time for no reason other than him reminding me of Takagi. Maybe I really do have a block. Shoichi examines me with a concerned look. Well, you don't have to worry about it too much. Whether you decide to go or not, you still have good practice partners over here. You can always use Urushihara as your Tanabe proxy. Geikun's skills aren't nearly as refined as Takagi. Ouch, poor Urushihara. Well, we're here. Sorry I can't stay for a while. I have some stuff I need to work on right away. Tell Aki-kun and your mom I said hi. Sure, message me if you need anything. Of course. Shoichi waves at me without turning back and keeps walking away. It's a good thing he lives so close, but it tends to get annoying when he pops in without a warning. My fucking god, man. What is our home life like? Who is this Aki? What is Mom? Who really is Mom? We'll find all of this out in the next episode. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the trained unprofessional of I speak with the wisdom I have when I say, fare thee well. Bye, everyone. Jesus.